Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's all doing well. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the upcoming heavyweight fight between Otto Wallin and Dillian Whyte, which is taking place on October 30th. This is a fight that I'm actually pretty interested in, especially because I was kind of expecting them to announce Jermaine Franklin or Chris Arreola as Dillian Whyte's next opponent. So the fact that Otto Wallin's been picked as his next opponent, I'm pretty, it was a bit of a pleasant surprise for me, and I'm pretty happy with this matchup. I think Otto Wallin presents a pretty tricky and awkward stylistic matchup for Dillian Whyte, with him being a pretty well-rounded, technical and mobile southpaw. So I think that presents an interesting matchup for Dillian Whyte, because we haven't really seen him against too many southpaws, especially in recent times. And I think that's going to present some interesting challenges for Dillian Whyte, which we'll get into in this video. This is also an interesting matchup due to there being a lot on the line. It's quite a high-stakes matchup, as Dillian Whyte has his WBC interim title on the line, as well as his #1 contenders position or mandatory position to fight the winner of Fury and Wilder. So that's on the line in this matchup. He's put that on the line before against Povetkin, and he lost. Had to rematch, get the victory in that match to get his position back. So once again, he's going to be putting that position on the line against Otto Wallin on October 30th. Now getting into more of the breakdown of the matchup and the intangibles of these two fighters. Dillian Whyte, he's about 6'4" with a 78-inch reach, orthodox fighter. Otto Wallin, he's about 6'5", 6'6", with also a 78-inch reach and a southpaw, as I stated earlier in the video, which I think is going to make for an interesting, awkward matchup for Dillian Whyte in this fight. I think he's a much tougher stylistic matchup than a guy like Chris Arreola, who's kind of just straight up and down orthodox fighter, no real defense or boxing IQ, more of just a pressure fighter that's going to come towards Dillian Whyte. I think that's easy for Dillian Whyte with his left jab. He'd be able to pick Arreola off, counter him with left hooks, and I think that would have been an easy night. I think Arreola's also way past his prime. He does have a bit more power than Otto Wallin, I think, but I think Otto Wallin's a much more tricky and tough opponent due to his mobility, also his jab out of the southpaw stance, and his overall, boxing IQ and better movement and defense than Arreola. I think that's a much tougher fight for Dillian Whyte, and this is, one of the reasons why I'm much happier with this fight that's been made between Whyte and Otto Wallin. Now, we know Dillian Whyte has a much better resume and much greater in-ring experience than Otto Wallin, due to having faced guys like Anthony Joshua, Povetkin twice, Joseph Parker, Oscar Rivas, Derek Chisora twice. He's had a lot of tough matchups throughout his career, and he's been in a lot of wars, a lot of tough fights, but he's always showed a lot of heart and will to win. I think Dillian Whyte's also improved throughout the years quite a lot, in my opinion. I think he's improved his jab a lot. He's got, in my opinion, one of the best left hands in boxing, or in the heavyweight division. I think he definitely has one of the best left hands in the heavyweight division. He has a really good long jab, as well as having probably the best left hook in the heavyweight division, both to the body and head. I think his right hand's a little bit underdeveloped. I think there is a little bit of a technical issue with there. You can kind of see it coming, and it also doesn't seem to be quite as fast or powerful as his left hand. But I'm sure if you stand right in front of him and he's able to hit you with that right hand, I think he's obviously got power, and he's a very big, strong guy. But I think in this matchup, I do think he's going to struggle to land the right hand on Otto Wallin. And with Otto Wallin being a southpaw, the right hand is normally the key to beating a southpaw. I think he's going to struggle to get that off. I think due to Dillian Whyte also being pretty flat-footed and slow on his feet, he doesn't have the greatest balance either. He kind of stumbles off balance, throws himself off balance when loading up on shots quite a bit. I think Wallin's mobility and better technical footwork than Whyte's going to cause him a bit of problems in this matchup. Also, like I said, Dillian Whyte's best weapon is his left hand, both his jab and his left hook to the body and head. I think that's going to be interesting to see if he can get that off in this fight, because We just seen what Alexander Usyk did to Anthony Joshua, really took his jab away and out-jabbed him, being the smaller man. In this fight, Wallin's the bigger man, so it's going to be interesting to see, the battle of the lead hands. Like I say, I already expect Otto Wallin to win the battle of the lead foot in the lead foot battle. I think Dillian Whyte's feet are a bit too slow, flat-footed. I think he's a bit clumsy as well. So I think Wallin's going to win the footwork battle. It's going to be interesting in this fight to see which way Wallin moves most, whether he goes left or right most, because often when you fight an orthodox fighter as a southpaw, they'll tell you to circle away from the right hand. In this fight, I probably expect him to circle towards Dillian's right hand and away from Dillian's left hook. And in this fight, I think it'd be very important for Dillian Whyte to try and go to the body on Wallin, try to slow him down, take his legs away a little bit, cut the ring off on him, because we already know what Wallin's going to do in this fight. He's going to try and outbox Dillian Whyte. He said he's going to take Whyte to school. And, Dillian Whyte said he never liked school much. His mom couldn't even get him to go to school. So how is Wallin going to take him to school? I think Wallin has a better chance of taking Dillian to school than his mother did. Let me just say that. But I think Wallin's going to circle away from Dillian's left hook and towards the right hand. Maybe look to then draw the right hand from Whyte and look to counter him with his own left hand, because that's what Wallin's going to be doing. He's going to be using his jab, his footwork, and looking for counters. Going to try and outbox and outscore Dillian Whyte. Wallin has got respectable power. I don't think he'll be able to... let me say, I don't think he'll be able to knock Dillian Whyte out, because he can. We've seen Dillian Whyte get knocked out now 2 times, so it's definitely possible. But I think Wallin has power, but I don't think he's a big knockout artist. But I think he has underrated, respectable power. And I think he'll get Dillian's respect, but I don't think he'll knock Dillian Whyte out in this fight. I think he might hit Whyte with some shots that makes Whyte, understand that he can be hurt by Wallin, and so he maybe won't run as many red lights as he thought before the fight. Similar to what happened to Joshua against Usyk, Usyk didn't knock him out, but he hurt him a couple of times throughout the fight and definitely gained his respect, which put Joshua in his shell. So I think Wallin's going to have to try and gain Dillian's respect. Otherwise, Dillian's going to try and run roughshod over him and try and bully him in this fight. And I think that's what Dillian's got to do. Is he's got to be aggressive in this fight. He's got to cut the ring off. He's got to come forward. I think he's got to go to the body with his hooks. And I think he needs to try and do what he did to Parker, just similar to what he did in the Parker fight, where he kind of bullied Parker early in the fight. He went all out early. He got a big lead in the fight. He seems to have a gas tank issue, Dillian Whyte. So in that fight, he ran out of gas towards the end, almost got stopped. And in a lot of fights, he seems to have a gas tank issue. So I'm sure it'll be more the same. But I don't think Wallin will so much be able to take advantage if he does run out of gas late in the fight. I think Wallin will just be able to win those rounds. I don't think Wallin will really be able to stop Dillian Whyte in this fight. But with that being said, I think Wallin's also an underrated body puncher, and I think he should go to Dillian Whyte's body as well to try and get Dillian Whyte to slow down a bit. But I think definitely Dillian Whyte needs to be aggressive, like he said with Anthony Joshua. He thought Anthony Joshua lost his dog. Well, lost a dog in him and didn't come out aggressive. He fought scared or whatever. He's going to have to show in this fight that he's not scared, and he's going to have to come out and show the dog in him. Come out aggressive like he did with Parker, try bulldog him, try bully the guy in there. I think he definitely is the physically stronger of the two men in there. I think Wallin probably the better technical boxer of the two, but like I said, Dillian Whyte has a very good left hand, very good educated jab. And so I think this is going to be a very interesting and competitive matchup. I think it's a pretty tough fight to make a pick in. I think Wallin's coming off 2 decent performances, one against Fury where he did better than everybody thought he would do against Fury. I still thought he lost probably 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3, but nonetheless he did better than everybody expected. Then in the Dominic Brazil fight, he kind of took Brazil to school, but Brazil, very slow, easy to outbox type of fighter, very slow feet, very slow hands, extremely easy to outbox. So Wallin did what everybody expected in that fight. He won almost all the rounds in that fight, almost shut Dominic Brazil out. I think this is going to be a much harder fight because Dillian Whyte will be a lot more aggressive, and he's a lot, a lot better boxer than Brazil, but he also has, you know, slow, flat-footed feet in this fight. So I think it's going to be a very tough matchup for both men, and I think could be a fight of two halves. I think Wallin will get off to a, you know, a pretty good start behind his jab. I mean, unless Dillian Whyte comes out, you know, extremely aggressive like he did against Joseph Parker. But in this fight, I'm expecting, you know, Otto Wallin to have, you know, quite a bit of success simply due to his mobility and being in a southpaw stance with a pretty good boxing IQ. I think he's going to give Whyte a lot of problems. I also said because Dillian Whyte's right hand, in my opinion, is a bit underdeveloped, or you know, there's something not quite right with his right hand. I'm not sure if it's a technique or what it is. And with that being the case, it's going to come down to whether Dillian Whyte can land that left hook, you know, consistently in this fight, because I don't think the right hand's really going to be there for him. But like I said, I think Wallin will circle towards the right hand, try and draw Whyte's right hand out of him and look to counter Whyte's right hand, circling away from the left hook from Dillian Whyte, trying to use his jab as well, trying to outbox Dillian Whyte. And at the moment, I'm actually leaning towards Otto Wallin to win a competitive decision in this fight. But definitely going to be a tough fight, and I definitely won't be surprised if Dillian Whyte can win this fight either by, I would say, late stoppage or on points himself in a competitive decision. He may just be able to bully Otto Wallin in this fight, use his tenacity and his strength and his willpower. But based off of the, you know, boxing skills and footwork, I think Otto Wallin's going to give him a lot of problems in this fight. Also haven't seen how Whyte's going to do against a southpaw, so definitely an interesting, intriguing matchup that I'm looking forward to. Let me know in the comment section who you guys think is going to win this fight. At the moment, like I say, I'm leaning towards Otto Wallin. I'll probably do a prediction at a later time, close to the fight, after I've watched a little bit more footage and see if my mind's changed, because like I say, it's close to a 50-50 fight in my opinion, so my mind may very well change closer to the fight. But at the moment, I'm leaning towards Otto Wallin to win, you know, a tough decision in this fight. Let me know in the comment section below who you guys are picking to win this fight. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.